there, this is Åsa with a new process video. And today I'm going to make a 2-page layout, and I'm going to use photos from the same occasion that's the layout that I did the last video about. Yeah, and I'm going to use 5 photos, and they were originally planned for something different, and I have taken away photos from this particular project, and I'm planning to do a 6x12 insert instead. But I don't think that I will put it between these 2 pages. It will have to go between one of the single page projects instead, because these 2 I wanted them side by side. I'm going to use wood grain paper from the Snap Basic collection from Simple Stories, and that's the collection that has notebook print on one side of the paper and wood grain on the other side. And I'm not going to use those 2 that I have placed there now. I'm going to use a couple of different ones. And then I'm going to use 2 pattern papers from the By the Sea collection from My Mind's Eye. And I think that these papers work really good together, and especially together with these seaside photos with lots of stone and lots of these kind of nature colors and the blue from the sky and the sea. This moment in time, which I explained in my last video, was kind of overwhelming for me. I thought it was just the most beautiful place I'd visited in years, and the weather was lovely. It was the first weekend of summer vacation, and yeah, everything was perfect, and we were together and we were just relaxing and having a really good time, luxurious, being away from home and eating at restaurants, and yeah, everything was just perfect. And then we arrived in this beautiful place, and it was so calm and so serene, and just yeah, a total bliss after having been working the whole spring and the start of the summer. And yeah, it felt really like a wonderful piece of the world, and I felt so lucky to have gotten my family to go here, because that was totally my my idea. and sometimes you just feel that you succeed when you stand there and you feel that everything that you worked for, and it pays off, and it was wonderful. I have cut strips of the 2 6x6 papers that I chose from the By the Sea collection, and I'm going to tape those together on the back side so that they form 12-inch long strips, and I will place those side by side with this 6x12 sheet that I have taped together from the wood grains. And then I will make 2 borders that will be on the outer edges of the project, and on the right side the border will be a lot larger than on the left side. And this kind of layout, I don't think that I've ever done it before, because it felt really new, and I felt unaccustomed or not used to doing it like this, and I was a bit reluctant on if it was going to work or not. But yeah, if I wanted to have the photos like this, and my kids both facing towards the left, I wanted to have their photos close to the middle of the page, or so that they looked into the project. So one way of doing that was to place the photos towards the right of the page, but then they would have been too far away from the other photo. So yeah, this was kind of my way of getting the right side photos closer to the left side photos. I don't know if this will work when they are in the album, but at least it works pretty well now when it's on my desk. Now I've cut that wood grain into 2 pieces, so you can see the borders that I'm going to work with, and I had to cut a little sliver of the photos to make them fit on the left side of the project. And now I'm just adhering these 2 bases to my white background page, and then I'm going to adhere the photos as well, because when I've gotten this far, there's no turning back. I need to use it like this because I have already cut into the photos, and that doesn't leave me much more opportunities to change things up from now. So I'm just going to place these so that they look similar on both pages, so they leave the same amount of white space above and below the photos. That photo there with the ring where you anchor your boat, I thought that was just so beautiful in its ugliness. It's rusty and it's old and it's worn, and you can see the rust has kind of come off the ring and spread around on the rock surface, but I thought it was so beautiful. It's something with that roughness that is so beautiful. I just love it. It's, yeah, I always come back to that feeling that something that is ugly can still be beautiful in a way, and it the fact that it is old and it's been used and it's been worn, I think that makes it even more beautiful. This is a cultural thing. Not only its aesthetic comes from the use of it, that it has a history, and I just love that. Often when I take photos, I try to pick up on those things that the details that give the atmosphere or that give the feeling of the place. And this is not a place made for tourists. This is a place where work has happened and where fishermen have done their business for hundreds of years, and now we happen to enjoy the place as tourists, but the atmosphere is still that of a workplace, and it's got a strong culture and a strong history, and it's something that I feel very much for. It grabs me. It grabs me so much, and it gives my emotions. The photos, when I manage to capture the details in my photos, it transfers that emotion into my projects, and I think that is really, really important for my creativity, that I get the emotion into the project that I had when I took the photos. So yeah, something like that. It's really hard to explain something that philosophical in a foreign language. I felt like a school kid. Yeah. Anyway, back to the project. I had another piece of pattern paper, the one with the teal navy blue stripes, and that one I cut apart to fit into that little space where beside the ring photo. And then I got pieces left, which I will be using as like embellishment bases on the left upper corner and the lower right corner of the project. To kind of bridge these 2 pages, I'm going to make a dotted pen line, or dotted, not dotted, but lined pen line that will go very clearly from one page to the other. So I'm making sure that these 2 lines meet at both sides of the project, and it will also frame and pull these 2 sets of photos closer together. The photos will be much more in the middle, in the center of the project. I like where this is going. I really do. Now it's time to fill those empty spaces, and I have made a title. And this is the Autumn in November font again. I just love it. Isn't it beautiful? I think it's so... it's like, you know, when you look at YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and everywhere, and there you can see those artists painting with a paintbrush in watercolors, and it's totally amazing and it looks so easy. I think this font is just like those script watercolor like paintbrush scripts, and it's so beautiful, and I think the words look really good. The sans serif font is Arial, and I made it bold, and I'm using that just to make the script font stand out even more. I love the contrast between the script and the sans serif, and yeah, that's totally wonderful. The script font here says the name of the place, so this is Hölik, and the word below, it's the Swedish word for harbor. And on the other side, I'm writing with the same Arial font on the docks, or on the pier. And that goes on the stripes of that little block there beside the ring photo. And I loved how that turned out. The script font I made an offset of. So first I made the word, the white portion of the word, and then I copied that one and made an offset, and then I just cut it with my Silhouette Cameo, both versions, the original one in white and then the offset, which is slightly bigger, in green. And then I just placed them on top of each other. That, I think it's so much fun. You remember the shadow effect that you could get with the extra set of dies for the Quick Cuts tool? That's totally that, and you can do it with every font you own. I think it's perfect and so much fun, and it enhances the readability of the word, especially when, like this, I'm writing with white onto white pattern papers, so it needed some kind of edge. And I'm also making that edge a little bit clearer by outlining the outlining with black pen. So that enhances the readability even more, and I like that. Now I'm going to try and see if I can find a couple of cards just to place in those empty spaces that I have left. My first thought was to write some kind of journaling, but no, I didn't feel like it. And I have already explained everything in my like my Facebook layout that I did, and these photos speak for themselves. And then I had these Project Lifelike cards, and I thought this was a perfect moment to add a larger embellishment on the page. That tag, for example, I think that it went perfect. It didn't have too much of anything, and then I found this die cut, this cutout card that says "Seize the Day" in a nice kind of wordplay there with C instead of seize. And I'm using a little piece of navy blue paper behind it so that you can see the text better. And then I'm going to overlap that over the tag. And I felt that was really pretty. When I saw this, I got the idea that I was going to tie a little bit of a string in that tag hole there. So I went through my box of twine, and I didn't find my nature colored and gold twine. So I had a little bit of a problem, but then instead I found a really rough and kind of stiff thread, some kind of nature thread. It looks like this. I don't really know what that is, but it's definitely some nature material, and it looks really good together with this environment that I'm trying to create on this page. And I will also use that on the other page as well, so that it will repeat within the project. And now everything is glued onto that right portion of the page there. Pretty. I like that. And that cut out car there is also very nice. To make the other thread embellishment, I'm tying two pieces together to form a decorative knot, and then I'm going to place that between my two words there on the little striped paper. So that little knot there, I'm going to just glue down in that green space there. And I thought that gave a lot of dimension and some marine feeling as well. and yeah, that was good. I don't think that I could have pulled that one off with a normal baker's thread or something like that. It needed to be more like a rope, and this thick thread was just perfect for the occasion. I will remember to use that more often together with these kind of marine pages. I found another tag. It's a tag with a little anchor in silver, and I'm doing the same thing there with a little piece of thread, and I'm placing it on the upper portion of the border strip there. And here is the finished project. The photos are a bit bad because I had heavy sunshine in when I tried to take the photos, so they are a bit sad, some of them, and the colors are a bit off, but I think that you understand the close-ups anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this process video with me, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye!